So now that we've talked about factors that contribute to obesity, we're going to talk about treatment of obesity. So in general, the essential components for successful weight loss and maintenance of the weight loss, because a lot of people lose weight, but not many keep it off. They say that of people who go on diets, about 95% gain the weight back. The good news is I do know a lot of people who have lost a large amount of weight and have kept it off for many, many years. So the essential components for weight loss, proper nutrition or healthy eating. Notice I didn't say diet, and you'll figure out why in a little bit. Because if you go on, well, part of it's because we used to put people on really restrictive diets back in the 80s when I first became a dietitian. And we found that most people could not stick to them long term. And because of the abysmal success of weight loss and maintenance of weight loss, people became open to different approaches. But you know a little bit about why an overly restrictive diet won't work. Those hunger mechanisms will go into overdrive to increase your desire to eat. And when you tell someone they can't eat their favorite food, sometimes they focus on that more and can't stop thinking about it till they eat some. Increased activity is also essential, and we'll talk about the amount that research has shown is needed. It's a significant amount and more than the average person needs for weight loss and maintenance of the weight loss. Some type of support. It's hard to make a major lifestyle change, and what's needed for successful weight loss and maintenance of weight loss is a permanent lifestyle change. It's hard to change habits, it's hard to change ways of thinking, and it's hard to change the lifestyle. So the support can be, something like just some accountability or a check-in. I have some patients that I work with where they check in once a week for 15 minutes, and that, kind of keeps them on track and gives them some encouragement to keep doing what they're doing. For some people, the support is more like, counseling is needed. People who are major stress eaters have anxiety issues that contribute to their eating issues, depression. People who are emotional eaters, they may benefit from actual counseling to kind of change, to develop some healthier coping mechanisms and deal with some underlying issues. Although an eating disorder expert that I know very well, I've done a lot of training with her, she says, if you can't wait till somebody resolves all of their emotional issues to change their lifestyle, because very rare is the person that has no emotional issues or anxiety or depression, at least every once in a while. So sometimes, you help support them in making some positive changes while they're working with a counselor on their lifestyle behavior issues. Binge eating disorder is a bona fide eating disorder. And, again, a theme here is not one size fits all. So you wouldn't approach treatment for someone with binge eating disorder like you would that client that I had who was, her only issue was that she didn't realize that there were so many calories in the cranberry juice that she was drinking. She just needed some education. She didn't actually need a whole lot of support either. So let's see, the treatment of obesity, eat whatever you want, and if anyone tries to lecture you about your weight, eat them too. I included this meme because I experienced this, when I was struggling with my weight. Everybody had a solution for me, and it just made me feel worse about myself that I could not follow the diet that somebody recommended. And then some people get real rebellious when people nag them about their lifestyle behaviors. It makes them do kind of an I'll show you and, forge ahead with the unhealthy lifestyle behaviors. So I encourage people who are trying to support people in changing their diet, activity, whatever, to be supportive and encouraging, but not overly, not judgmental for sure, because you can't shame someone into changing their behavior. That's a really important line. You can't shame someone into changing their behavior. And if people feel judged, they often develop a source of shame. And, shame kind of backfires when you're trying to change behavior, especially, for the people who have emotional eating issues. If they feel terrible because someone's nagging them, then that may trigger overeating, actually. So eating behavior is complex, and you have to figure out the strategy that is best for the person. I tell people I'm working with that changing their lifestyle, their eating and activity is kind of a journey of self-discovery, trying to find the strategy that works best for them. Some it'll be regimented behaviors or a regimented program, and some it will be like a non-dieting type program. So, like I've said a couple times, eating behavior is more complex than people think. The calories in, calories out, man, it makes it sound easy to change, to lose weight, but it's not. So, the person needs to figure out the approach that works for them. I oftentimes, as a dietitian, get people wanting me to give them a set of menus, and if you tell me what to eat, I'll just eat it. And it's like, I wish it worked that way, but it doesn't. So one size, again, does not fit all, and the person needs to figure out, maybe with the help of a professional like a dietitian, the factors that are contributing to their eating issues, and address those. So I'm going to end almost here. Diets, like I said, don't have a great track record of success. Part of it's because deprivation makes you think of food even more. Going on a diet usually makes you think that you'll go off of it someday. That's implied when you've reached your goal, and then you return to the old eating habits. And I experienced this. I went on a program, Body for Life, with 2 other guys. I wasn't trying to lose weight. I just wanted to change up my weightlifting regimen, and I thought it would be fun. But the one guy that was on it, he lost a significant amount of weight, got really cut. It's a diet and diet and exercise program focusing on weightlifting. And so, I measured his body composition at the beginning of the 12 weeks, and at the very end of the 12 weeks, the very last day of the 12 weeks, he wanted me to measure his body composition again. And I said, I'm going to be out of town, but I can measure it when I get back. He goes, no, I want it measured that day because my wife and I are going out to eat to celebrate. And I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign. And sure enough, he went on a diet, went off the diet or lifestyle regimen, and he gained the weight back. And also, we are designed to protect ourselves from starvation. So when you go on a really restrictive diet, it's a natural human biological response to eventually give in and binge. And so the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that because we're well designed to prevent starvation. And when you go on a deficit, the mechanisms, hormonal and some, psychological mechanisms kick in to stimulate the desire to eat. So we'll start here with the next video on the cycle of dieting that's so common.